Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. It looks like we have a disaster in the dwarf orchard. The dwarf orchard looks pretty nice, except I was walking the dogs this morning, and as I came around the corner, I was going to the mailbox, and I discovered this. Holy shit. The rabbits got after these. I don't think this one is quite as bad. No, nowhere near as bad. I'll take a closer look at these and see if they're gonna live. Yeah, we got a bite here. It doesn't look like it's girdled anywhere. This one is close. All right. What a shame. They have 1 year's growth and training. These are Espalier apple trees. And I was hoping next year to get a bud going each way on these two wires, but I don't know, with this damage, it might have to expend a lot of energy healing up for that, or it may kill it. And it doesn't look like they touched any of the other apple trees, just these. And we've had apple trees and cherry trees and stuff here for 12 years now, and none of them ever got touched. Yeah, that is so bizarre. This is right out in the open, and usually rabbits don't come out into the open like that because we have a lot of owls around here. They'll get something right at the edge of the woods or something like that, but not right out in the open like this. It may be because it was really foggy that they were incognito and came out here. I don't know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is measure up from the ground up to the wire, and I'm going to make a protector for those. I think they're both going to be the same size. I've showed those in other videos, but I'll show me making them real quick. I have some 4-inch drain stock laying around, and we'll cut it out of that. It goes pretty quick. But what else I'm going to do is spritz these down with rabbit repellent. Rabbit repellent alone might have saved these, but I just didn't think I would need it on these. Holy moly. Well, fingers crossed. We'll hope these live, especially this one. This one has more to prune off this spring and much worse damage. This one only has one major branch that's going to get pruned off this winter, and the damage is not that bad. See these teeth marks right here? They don't even go through the cambium, so yeah, hopefully they're both all right. Man, what a shame. Okay, let me go get my tape measure, measure these up, and we'll make the protectors and get them sprayed down. Okay, so it's 20 inches up. We'll go 19. And same here. 19 inches it is. Luckily, I had some of this laying around. This is what I do with it. I cut it the length I need, and then I make 2 slits along this line. I just do that so I can get a straight line. And then you open it up and put it around the tree. Pro tip though is to make that fairly wide, this cutout right here, and then use zip ties to tighten it up. Otherwise, it's real hard to open this up and get it around the tree. You can get a little chunk of it, but you actually can damage the tree trying to get it on there. Okay, let's measure and I'll show you how I cut this stuff. So I measure over where I want to be, and then I figure out which ring I'm going to cut on. Then, this is kind of curled, so it's going to be harder to do, but you just curl this around. Generally a lot easier than this because it's so curled up, it's kind of rubbing up against the blade. This is just a plain old angle grinder with a cutoff wheel on it. Now, just put it between my feet and make my cuts. I'm going to go maybe 3/4 of an inch to each side of this line. Bada bing, bada boom. So now this will open up fairly easy to get on the plant, and once it's on there, I'll zip tie it so the opening is much smaller, small enough so a rabbit can't get his teeth in there. Okay, one more like this and we'll go out there and put these on. We're gonna spritz the bark underneath it first though, because mice want to get in there and make a nest, and the mice can do as much damage as a rabbit can. Spritz this down real good with rabbit repellent. It's not going to do any damage if it gets into the wound. I don't want to get sprayed. Get the area around it. Hopefully this doesn't take too much to get this on. You can see what I mean, how it can cause damage. When I first started doing this method, I just put a slit up it. I didn't take any material off, and that does not work well. Hopefully these are long enough. Just shy. And these are 14 inches. Let me go see if I have some 2-footers. Okay. Little bit of luck. I have one 18-inch. So I'll put it right in the middle, and I'll just leave the other one open until I can get some more, but I'll be going to get some more soon. And I have a tightening tool, which helps out. Yeah, I'll need to put 2 more on these, but this is better than nothing for now. I think we'll turn these this way and spritz the plastic, especially at the gap, and then we'll do the other one, spritz the inside as well. That'll keep the mice out of there. That should be overkill. And what is the date today? It's the 27th, I believe. 27th of December. Beautiful day. We're obviously going to get snow at some point, and this stuff wears off. This is rabbit repellent. I'll put this in a link below. But this stuff will wear off in about a month. So at the end of January, I'll come out here and spritz these again. All right, let's get that other tree done. This one is the problem tree. I got to get these bands off of them as well, but that's not real pressing. Okay, I could probably get those 14-inch bands on here if I tighten it up, but it would be right at the end, and I think I'm just gonna get a new bag of these and get the ground around it. Just want to make it a place where critters don't want to hang out. I'm a little bit low on the rabbit repellent in this bottle, but I have actually 2 more jugs of it in the shop there. So I'm going to fill this up and come back out here, and I'll get the rest of the branches on these apple trees, and I'll get all of the other trees in the dwarf orchard here as well. I don't need to get any of the oak trees. They should be just fine. The one tree that got damaged last winter has a cage around it right now, and the other ones are out in the field, and the one that just got damaged was damaged during the rut, and deer repellent isn't going to stop them from doing that. And there's no way to put a cage around them. They're too big. Okay, so that's it for the protection on these trees. Like I said, I'm going to come back and put some zip ties on there. Let me show you some sun damage that we had on the apple crisp tree. Oh, that was probably, it was its first year, so that was probably 8 or 9 years ago. Let's take a look at the damage and how it healed. The next videos in the dwarf orchard here will be probably, I have a pruning to do on the 2 older trees, that Macintosh and this Honeycrisp, and then I have the initial prunings to do on, that's a Bing cherry, oh, what is a Camas pear, and then these 2 newer ones, one's a cherry, one's a pear, or it could be the other way around. I'm not exactly sure, but the initial prunings on, well, those aren't going to get pruned at all, those 2 right there. These 2 are going to get their initial pruning, and these have a heavy-duty pruning like every year. All right. It's kind of hard to get at this now, but you should be able to see that slit. It actually went all the way from the ground all the way up to the first branch. You could see where that first branch was. It split in the winter. That first winter, there was a lot of snow and a lot of sun. So it got sun scalded, I put wrap around the tree every year after that for the first 3-4 years. It only happens to really young trees. These probably should have had wrap on them as well, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. It doesn't look like they have any sign of it. Generally, you have to have snow on the ground, and the snow reflects the light onto the bark and will cause sun scald. But I think it needs to be a much longer winter. We haven't had any snow that stuck for more than a week or so, and it's already almost the end of the year. That is how good that scar healed up. Yeah, you can look at this. There's millions of scars on here from the yearly pruning, and they all heal up completely after a while. Like that one where it changes directions. Yeah, we got a good deal of pruning. Like that big branch right there. I'm not exactly sure. I might have kept that to get some apples, but I'm just looking at how I would prune this in the spring. All of this stuff comes off, but sometimes I leave a little bit to get some apples if it's a branch that would get some apples on it. Looks like we're going to get a good amount of apples this coming year on this Honeycrisp. We probably should have picked the ones we had last year, but again, we were rushing with the tiny house and didn't get done what needed to be done. Oh, these are gross. I probably should have gloves on for this. These are yucky. Okay, let's take a look at these real quick. This is a first year, and I believe this is the pear. Let's see. Oh, this is a cherry. North Star, Dwarf cherry, and this is the pear. What is it though? It just says dwarf pear. I know it's on this Potomac. So let me see if I can remember these. We have the Potomac pear, the North Star, the Camas, Bing, Honeycrisp, Wolf River, and what is this last one? I can't think of it. Freedom. Okay, Freedom apple, and the Freedom apple is probably going to make it. And we're going to have to hope on this Wolf River that it makes it through the damage. I'll just take a quick look at the Macintosh while we're looking at trees. Yeah, this one is always a big challenge to prune. Look at all those suckers. And they get so big. That's like 1.5 inches around, that sucker in the middle there. But just hundreds of suckers. And some of them are 4 feet long. The nurseries use these. I'm guessing they prune the tree just like this, and then cut these suckers off and graft them to rootstock. We got, is that a bald eagle? Come on, turn around. It is a bald eagle. Oh no, that's belly I'm looking at. That's a red-tailed hawk. Yeah, this is going to take a lot of work. Holy moly. Look at all those suckers. Yeah, I might need to use my multi-tool in here to get at some of these. But we got a lot of branches going out and then up and crossing, and yikes. I'm going to guess this will take about 2 hours and that one will take about an hour, the Honey Crisp, and then it's not going to take nearly as long for these other ones. Probably take an hour for all of them. The Bing is pretty darn big already. This was its second year. I'll take a look at it real quick. Yeah, this one got pretty big. This is where it was pruned at the nursery. Yeah, I'll probably prune it right here so I get a branch going out that way, and then right here to get a branch going out that way, and either take off this sucker or prune it way down here so I get something going out that way. These will be interesting. Yeah, I think I'm going to prune these this year. These two. Those obviously have to be pruned, as well as these. This is about 8 feet tall already, and it has some pretty terrible growth. This is okay, this is okay, this is okay, but yeah. I mean, this will probably have to come off, this whole thing right here. At least this branch right here. And the Bing. I really like Bing cherries. Hopefully the animals will let me get some of them before they steal them. Yeah, this one actually shouldn't be too hard to prune. Take that one out completely. Let's take this one out right in here somewhere. And while we're here, in addition to all the pruning, I'll be tuck pointing these stairs with a moisture retaining mixture, peat moss and clay and stuff. And then I'll be putting moss in all the cracks. I want this to be all nice and moss filled. Should look pretty cool. And then I'll continue these steps and the walkway. The walkway is going to go up, around, and along the espalier there. And it's going to go up that way and arc over. And I'll be planting one more tree this year, and I believe one the year after that. I did this stuff a couple hours ago, and I just got done walking the dogs for the last time of the day, and I found a good-sized spot of blood on the road over here, and the dogs were hitting on something right down in the woods there. So I'm guessing it's probably a rabbit that got killed over there. So I was thinking, well, good. Maybe something got that rabbit that messed with my trees here. So we came back, came up the road. Dogs ran up by the house. One went by the door and one went into the yard. And the one that went into the yard came back with this. It's a headless rabbit. And it looks like it's missing the front legs as well. She just came around the corner with it, but she dropped it right there. And then there's all this blood right here. She didn't take it onto the porch. Just weird. One of the dogs, Isabel, wanted to go out like 3 times in the middle of the night. She could have killed that thing and kept wanting to go back out and mess with it. That's a good-sized rabbit. Yeah, it's missing the head and the shoulders with the front legs attached to it. All right, I'm going to go get rid of this, and I'll just splice this video right into the other video. So back to your video. So a lot of videos coming out of here. So if you want to see those, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.